Alright, what's up everybody? I've been getting a lot of comments on my videos about the maps in this game in 2042. I have a lot of things that I want to say about them, but the comment section is just too small, okay? It's just too small to fit all the ideas that I have. So I thought, you know what? Why don't I just try to redesign the maps that I hate? You know, instead of just complaining about it and wishing that DICE would do something about it. Look, they're obviously not going to do something about it, okay? There's a random dude in my portal server that I just made to test this, to test the map out. Anyway, maybe we can just redesign it ourselves. At least, you know, so we have the satisfaction of saying that, you know, it could be done. Alright, so I'm not a map designer. I'm not a designer of any sort. I'm just a guy who loves games and, you know, I've played a lot of them. So I think a lot of us know kind of what needs to be done. So, you know, let's just hop in the heli and I'm going to point some things out to start out. Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind, obviously, this, you know, this whole empty space beneath me here. This is not okay. The reason why is because in order to cross that expanse, you need a vehicle. Vehicles are not always available. I understand that they tried their best to make it so everyone could call one in at all times, but it just doesn't work. You can call one in, but it's not always available for you to use. You can't always do it. If I call, say, a bolt right here, and I drive over to E and cap the point, I have no way of getting back if my bolt gets destroyed, right? It's not, you can't just call it in repeatedly time after time. It's not a reliable way of transportation. So there needs to be a permanent way for people to get across, you know? A tunnel would be great. A tunnel from D or C or both. A tunnel that connects like right here, you know? Like right down there. That goes all the way to E3 here, or is that E2? E3. See, that'd be great. Make it so that tanks can't go in there. It's so you have this whole, you could have your own little mini operation locker going on underneath the map, you know, so that way. Why? See, this is another problem. Okay, this is another huge problem. Why can I not see anything? Oh, just why? This is a first-person shooter. It's kind of important to be able to see in first person, you know? It's not cool, okay? Guys, I know you thought this was super cool, guys. It's not. Alright? Alright, anyway. So yeah, something needs to be done with that whole space there. You could put an underground tram, you could put a subway, right? Like, there's a lot of things you could do. You don't necessarily have to move the maps closer. Or the objectives closer. You could, right? I think the worry about the objectives being closer is that you just have enemies constantly parachuting down from there to like these lower points like D and B and C. So like that's always a concern. Like when you have a super tall building with an objective on top of it, people are gonna be just jumping off onto the surrounding points. So whoever controls has control of the surrounding points. So that's kind of the theory of how tall buildings work in games. That's just how it goes, right? When you give a giant skyscraper to one enemy team, because this is their gimme, right? You should always have your gimme point in Battlefield. E is their gimme, so they theoretically will always have control of that. And if they have control of that, and it's closer over here, like if it's right here, they can just parachute anywhere they want. So that's probably their #1 mistake, right? Never give the one side an extreme advantage over the other side. And we all know from playing Siege of Shanghai that you know, pushing a skyscraper like that is really difficult if the enemy team just sits there and looks at the elevators. That's literally all they have to do. If you don't have great air support, you know, then you're kind of screwed. So that's another thing we could do. We could level this and just make E a regular point and take the skyscraper and put it at C, or put it at B. Put the skyscraper in the middle, all right? It doesn't make sense to have one side have a skyscraper and the other side have this trash point that's called A. We're not gonna make this too complicated, okay? We're just gonna improve. We're not gonna make these perfect maps, but let's just improve it enough so that at least it's a little bit playable. If you've played this map for 5 seconds, you'll come here to D in the middle of the game, and these buildings are not here. All you have to do is run into them with a bolt, and you completely flatten the entire surrounding area. These trees are gone. Like, the little defilades in here don't provide enough cover to make this point viable for infantry. Halfway through the match, this just becomes a tank fight in here. Like, it's super lame. Destruction is great, Battlefield. Like, yes, I know. Destruction and Battlefield, they go hand in hand. It's great. But you need some sort of permanent cover. Otherwise, you're just end up playing World of Tanks that's really expensive. You know? And that's what it feels like a lot of the time. It's just World of Tanks, but for $60. And it's like, don't forget, DICE, that the majority of players are playing infantry the majority of the time. Alright, so I pulled up a screenshot of the overhead view of the map. Alright, so let's try to visualize this a little more. So as you can see, this is that big area I was talking about between E and D, and I guess C too, or C as well. There's no C2. This is the, you know, aside from the entire map just needing more cover, needing some permanent structures to be safe from vehicles as infantry, which is 90% of the player base, this is the second thing that needs to be done on this map. Something needs to be done here. So take E2, the big skyscraper, right, with the point on top of it, put that in the middle, put that somewhere in between. My second option for dealing with this space is make a subway entrance right here that goes all the way to under E3. Make some sort of tunnel, or you know what, you don't even have to go all the way to E3. You could put it here, and you could make it go like just here and in between all of them, right? And you should do the same, and you should make one go to A as well. That way, you know, both teams, like whoever can push to the middle, can get a route that's protected completely from tanks. And then the tanks can fight it out up here, you know? The air vehicles, the tanks, they can have fun on the surface. And then, you know, we as the infantry players can go down and fight it out through the tunnel. You know, make it a mini Operation Locker type thing, a mini metro. You know, I think that would be pretty viable. You know, you would have to not make it just a straight line, right? Because that, you know, that would be stupid. You're gonna have people like snipe. It would just be a sniper fest from one end to the other. So instead of that, you go like this, you know, make it like that. It's fine, whatever you have to do to get it underground, just do it. You know, it's not hard to come up with ideas. Okay, so let's say we go with the first solution. All right, this is my first solution. This is the big building, and we want it in the middle. Okay, so if we just put that in the middle, we have these weird points around here. Okay, it's weird that B is so close to A, and then there's nothing over here. Maybe they did that because they assumed that, you know, the parachute distance would take care of this. You know, if you capture A, you run to B, but if you capture E, you parachute down to C. Like, maybe that's what they're thinking. Here's my suggestion. Okay, so this is E2. Right, and then C goes over here. D stays where it is. And then, you know what, just move this a little bit closer. You know what, down this way probably, you know? Okay, so you have all these now in this area. You got D down here, and you got frickin' B over here, all right? So that I think would be much better than the way it is now. You know what? You can even take A and move it up. Right? There's no reason to have them so far apart. You know, maybe they were thinking 128 players, we're gonna need a lot of space. You know, but you don't. You know, I don't think you do. I think what you want to do is have more fighting per square inch, per square mile, for, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want to be running, like, I want to have enough space to where I can spawn safely, but that's it. That's all you need. I want to be able to run to the fight within like 10 seconds, like max, you know? Because running is downtime. This is not Arma. This is not, you know, a Star Citizen type simulator. You know, we're not playing squad. This is, Battlefield's not a hardcore shooter. It's a massive sandbox arcade shooter. That's just what it is. We don't need running as part of the experience. This can be totally stupid, right? It looks stupid because it looks like a third grader. You know, actually probably a third grader would do a better job than me. It looks like a freaking preschooler wrote this out, but you know what? I'm just trying to visualize it, and I'm, you know, at least I'm trying. Okay, that's at least I'm trying to do something here. All right, so this is the circle is the skyscraper, right? This is the big one. Okay, so now does each base have an equal number of objectives that they can attack? Which I also am not a big fan of the triple point objectives. I think it should just be one objective per sector. I'm not a fan of the whole sector idea. I think it's just kind of useless. So what if we do that? What if we just have an A here? So then each team, okay, so then this is easy then. So put B over here and put D over here. There you go. Easy. Just like that. So the US side has D and E, and then don't pay attention to the sectors. Okay, here, you know, the sectors, I want them to get rid of that. So here would be my map design of this, and it still follows the basic T like cross pattern that they were going for. You could, so you make it like this, and then you could add another one. Whatever, it doesn't matter. This could be F, and then over here could be G, you know, like you could do that, like just add more, you know, don't just put one here and nothing here. So let's recap for the final time here. Okay, so actually, you know what, let's adjust the out of bounds now. So like make this the out of bounds line. All right, okay, so in the red, that's your map. It's still the basic shape, but now we don't have all this random area like that. Like a skyscraper here in the middle means you have access to everything. You know, even give it a second level, right? So you don't have to go all, like the point is on the objective is at the very top, but you know, give it a second level so that even people who don't have the point can parachute, but just not quite as far. See, that makes sense to me. Get rid of all this stupid space that makes no sense. And if it's still too big, make a tunnel, right? Make a tunnel to these points. Put some cover everywhere. You can't really have too much cover, can you? I don't know. I shouldn't be getting shot by a tank from over here when I'm over here, you know? Like, just some basic humanity. You know, I would even cut that down to like that, you know, get rid of that. So we get rid of all this. Screw that, it makes no sense. All right, so there's your map. I fixed it. I probably didn't, it's probably stupid, but this is my idea. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you would change about it. Let me know if you think this is stupid, if you think it's genius, whatever. All opinions are welcome. Just don't be a jerk to other people in the comments, please. All right, I will see you guys later. Adios.